over bacon and eggs. We'll share a laugh and a story and even a wish on the breakfast dish. Bop, 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 bop.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of The Breakfast Dish. The Breakfast Dish was, of course, inspired by the cultural phenomenon that was the Breakfast series from Karen's Facebook. I'm joined by Karen, of course.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm the mum. Griffin's my son.
That's right. We have to clear that up every time.
Every time.
And it has been barely facilitated by me, Griffin Cork. I put up the mics. It has been made possible by the Calgary Arts Development Authority, the Calgary Foundation, and the Rosé Foundation. And today we are joined by a very special guest. In fact, a few special guests. We are joined by Adeel Sadiq and Richelle from the Indefinite Arts Centre. Hello, Adeel. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Richelle, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Well, we like to start it off with a few basic breakfast questions. The whole point of the breakfast series was to take people out to breakfast and get to know them if they didn't know them, or talk about the thing they're working on, or talk about their work. And of course, in place of breakfast, we made a podcast. So Karen, start us off.
Sure, since we can't actually go, well, a lot of us don't feel comfortable, including me, going to a restaurant right now to have breakfast. It's nice to just pretend we're in a restaurant having breakfast. So, Adeel, first question is, what did you eat for breakfast today?
You have lemonade? I have lemonade, apple, and bread, and omelette.
That's an excellent, healthy breakfast. Omelet, bread, lemonade, and an apple?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the breakfast I aspire to have.
Your mom is with you, Myrla, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
I should have said that. We're also joined by Myrla Saiq. Hi, Myrla.
Hello.
So Myrla is a mom that feeds a very good breakfast, healthy breakfast to her son.
No kidding.
Usually I would just pour a bowl of cereal for Griffin. Richelle, what did you have for breakfast?
I had a cup of black coffee and a sesame bagel.
Nice.
Ooh.
Griffin, your breakfast?
I had a banana and a cup of coffee with that coffee mate stuff that has nothing known to nature in it. I'm a sucker for that stuff. Vanilla, caramel, whatever. Oh my God.
And I had a banana and a muffin and my leftover coffee from yesterday. So I feel less healthy than Adeel.
I have a worse morning if I don't start it every day now with lemonade. Oh my God.
And an omelet.
Now, Adeel, this is important. What is your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast when my dad make oatmeal with nuts and banana and green tea.
Oh my God. Your pairing of food and drinks is so good. That sounds amazing.
You know how to live a good breakfast life, Adeel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now let me ask you this question.
We sound like investigative journalists. Now, where were you September 29th?
Yeah. Here's an important question. Are the nuts in the oatmeal almonds or peanuts or cashews? What kind of nuts?
Almond. Yeah. So almond. It's grounded almond. Grounded almond.
Oh my gosh, that sounds great. Can I just,
Oh my God.
I might just leave the podcast now and go make that, because now I want that.
There's been some confusion about like whether this podcast is like a breakfast recipe podcast, and it's slowly turning into that. Adeel and Myrla are giving us real, actual culinary advice.
What we do with this podcast, thanks to our funders and supporters, is that we focus on artistic work that is now online, because it can't necessarily happen on stage or in galleries, etc. And Adeel, you are a visual artist, that's right?
Yes.
And where do you do your art? Where do you practice your art?
I practice my art in Indefinite Arts.
Indefinite Arts
And
Centre.
at home.
And at home, of course, right. Richelle, you are one of the facilitators at Indefinite Arts.
I am.
And can you just give us a little bit of background about the centre?
For sure. So Indefinite Arts is Canada's largest and oldest arts center for persons with developmental disabilities and folks facing barriers. And yeah, we run a studio in the Southeast normally and run studio art classes about 5 days a week. And we have about like 230 artists right now who are part of Indefinite Arts.
Whoa.
Yeah, with our certain this time of our lives, we are working from home, and we've completely moved to online programming. So we host studio Zoom sessions, which Adeel is also a part of. So I see him weekly on Zoom, and we make art together. And we've sent out materials to each artist. We make a monthly kit, a flex kit that we mail out, and so we can work together. But yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So what I'm hearing is you and Adeel are Zoom experts now, as we seem to all be. It's interesting. I was chatting with a few of your associates, Carly, I think it was, and they mentioned that like the Indefinite Arts Centre still feels like a little bit unknown in the community, but which is crazy to think about when you guys have 230 artists and classes 5 days a week. That's very, very impressive.
Well, the reason I found out about it is because I believe you are also supported by the Rosé Foundation and Calgary Foundation and Calgary Arts Development. So it was on their page that tells us all of the things that are going off online, that are happening online, that I first encountered Adeel's artwork. And you have an exhibit that was up for a long time on the website. Yes, Adeel? Is that right?
Yes. Stride Gallery.
Oh, yeah. So the exhibition, we have it available online, but it's also, so Stride Gallery is a non-profit arts center that's on McLeod Trail downtown, and they have these big window spaces. So right now they are currently closed, but they had this wonderful big exhibition space. So we partnered with them. It's such a high traffic area, and we reached out to two of our artists, Adeel Sadiq and David Apong, to create new artwork for these window spaces. So you can actually go and see it in physical space.
So the gallery is closed, but because of their like ginormous windows, it makes it viewable from the street.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Is it still in exhibit now in the windows at Stride?
It is up until Monday, but we're currently in conversation of maybe extending it. So
I hope so, because Adeel, I want to talk about your work, but instead I want you to tell me about the kind of art that you do. Can you tell me about that?
I do a lot of arts. Like I do a lot of landscapes. So when I make my landscapes, because I make it with love. I make it with my heart. I make it with my feelings. This is how I reflect my art. So yeah, every detail and every color is it's like to make it big, to make it big in my canvas. It's like this is my signature. This is my name, and I'm making it, and that is something. This is something. That's why I love art. That's why it's something to me, because it's what I put in my canvas, and to make the best in my canvas. So I just want to impress with my art. It's how I show my art. It's how I remember my art in my landscape when somebody put in the front of the desk, and I'm an art of the year, and everybody compliment my art, and I appreciate somebody compliment my art. So it's really that I like it, because somebody compliment, somebody like my art, and yeah.
I will compliment your art forever, because it grabbed my eye and I was just blown away. I talked about you on Facebook about how everyone should check out the exhibit and see what you've done and see how you talked about art and how you talk about your heart and your the words and your dad and COVID. You had the most, I'll read it in a second here, but you had the most eye-opening description of the kind of world we're living in right now that has really changed my view of it, which is amazing. Would you say you are a digital artist then?
Oh, wow.
This was actually Adeel's first time working in a digital space. So we actually, that was some of our things, our technical things that we had to figure out via Zoom, and how to like make this vinyl text piece. And so we actually went on Zoom and we screen shared, and I worked in Illustrator and he directed me. So I was kind of the one inputting, and he was so open and a really amazing communicator in being really clear about what he wanted, how he wanted things to look. But yeah, I don't know, Adeel, if you want to describe a little bit about like your cards and like the words that you use, because I feel like that was really important in the process.
See, yeah, like for my cards, I remember that for my card, because when I make it, because those lines have a big meaning, and because I like it, because I got those lines from my dad, because he's wise, he read books and everything. So he gives me those lines to me, and I read it, and I read it again, and I like it, and I love it. Then I make something. Yeah, I see some, when I read it, I like it because it touched me.
Adeel, it is so amazing for me to hear that is your first time working in a digital space.
Yeah.
When Karen asked you to talk about the art that you do, that's a very big question to answer, and I really like the way you answered that question. Karen and I were very much looking forward to this interview. We're very excited by the work that you're doing.
I would like to take this opportunity, if it's okay, to read the artist statement. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
These are in your own words on the Indefinite Arts website. Adeel Sadiq says, "The power with my cards and those lines has a big meaning. My dad gives me those lines and what it means. I learn and I'm into it. Reading those lines, I feel good. It's a compliment in a big way. My dad is wise. I put everything in my art. I make this in love. Every detail I put in a canvas, every sketch, and when I plan the colors. I want to grow and learn in my art. I want to make lots. I bring books and ideas to Indefinite Arts Centre. I take my time and effort to make it beautiful. Making my art big. I'm making my name. I make from the heart, and I make everything with love. The words are something you feel. We are strong together. We are connected together. And this is my favorite part, Adeel. I hope that when we get through this, we can be stronger, better, and bring the fun of the city. We are stuck at home, and it feels like the light is off, the fun is off. But we are waiting, and this is going to be a long day. The main thing is to wait patiently, and hopefully we can get through this. Everything takes time. We are living in a season." I'm crying, so you talk now.
Okay. For the listeners at home, and this is my favorite part, Adeel, was some creative liberties that Karen took with that artist statement. I'm not sure if that part is in there.
Oh, right, of course, sorry. The part where I said this is my favorite part, that was Karen's voice, not Adeel's voice. But what really struck me, Adeel, what made me want to meet you, is just your attitude towards this strange time we're living in. It's a positive attitude, Adeel. It's a positive attitude where you're saying, we're just waiting. It's important that we wait, and that this is just a season. And that is the most beautiful collection of words that have happened in my life in a long time, because there's been lots of complaining about this and a lot of negative comments and a lot of arguments. And every single day since I read that, I think to myself, whenever I'm upset about something or I'm bored or I feel trapped, I just think it's important that we wait, and we are living through a season.
I also think your use of the word big, I think the use of the word big is really, really beautiful. And there's something you were talking about when you were talking about your art, when you went, I like it, I love it, I put it in my art. I think that's a great motto for artists, but also just, I think, in life in general. I think everyone should follow those 3 steps. Like it, love it, put it in something. Booyah.
Can you tell me about your dad?
My dad is, because I love my dad, I just love my dad. I understand my dad, and I learn everything I know from my dad. My dad is he's a chef, and he's wise, and he's and yes, and loving. Yeah, yeah. My dad, he's always running the house. Like cooking, cleaning. Yeah, cooking, cleaning, and sometimes when we come home, the food is ready, and it's because I call this love. We just my dad knows, like, because he likes food and he likes his own food. Sometimes once in a while we go out, and the main thing is it's healthy, you know, and so yeah.
It sounds like you lucked out in the parent department. Sounds like you have an excellent dad, excellent mom, excellent food, excellent house,
Excellent breakfast, excellent lemonade.
excellent breakfast, excellent oatmeal with nuts
Green
and bananas. Adeel, what do you miss about being able to go to the Indefinite Arts Centre?
I just miss the fun. Every time when I walk to a door, I just when I smile, I just light up the room because and talk with my friends and wait for my art to start at 1 o'clock. And when 1 o'clock is up, I'm just ready to go in art because I know how to take break. I know how to buy drinks there. I know how to get involved with my friends and talk to them. And sometimes, I meet the staff. They are beautiful. They are beautiful and lovely staff. They're helping me, and so yeah, it's I feel welcome, like, because in Definite Art, I feel welcome in Definite Art family, and to be a part of that is when I give another bump in every staff there. I'm part of it. I'm in it. It's really, yeah.
It's interesting, listeners, you can't see this right now, but we're on a Zoom call right now with Adeel and Richelle, and he's talking about how great the staff is, and she's blushing. I just think it's so cute.
You're really called her out on that one. Listen, this Zoom call is a safe space, all right?
But there's obviously just a lot of love in that room. Adeel, what is your favorite kind of art to enjoy, to look at? Do you
You mean like somebody else's art?
Yeah, somebody else's art. What's your favorite kind of other people's arts to enjoy?
Actually, when I take break in my art, I just stand up and I walk around. I just go in every table, watching people doing art, give some my image. I just want to give some idea because they are very talented. Those people, that are talented in their own way, and how I see it is really, I can see talent in a table. Every table every table have a talent in their own way, and I see it in my own eyes. It's really, it's like when I see it, this is like my show. Like I know because I can take this, I can do something, like I can create or make something. So I just want to pick and choose which one is it. So what is good in my art, so I can make the best in my canvas. So yeah, it's really every table have different way to make it, and when I see it, it's really special in their own way because we are living our talents in a special way. We are living right now because every table is like have a different idea, different to see things. And when I see that, it's really nice. It's really because I put out there because I know how to go walk around, go in every table and give some ideas for me. Um, when you when you watch and look, this is how you learn some things. So I just want to pick up on that.
Lots of inspiration from the other artists in the room. So many things you say relate to art, but they also relate to the world and to life, which is if you just watch and listen, you will learn things. And everybody has a different idea, and you can learn something.
Yeah, I'm going to walk around the room and see
Yeah.
how this person sees this, and then maybe that'll change my
Yeah.
point of view. Oh, man.
Richelle, you were going to say something.
Oh, I just wanted to give a little bit of context to also what Adeel was sharing. So in our studio space normally, it's all open, and we kind of have sections that are dedicated to ceramics or fiber or more like painting and drawing. And so, yeah, it's, I think Adeel really touched on a beautiful part of the studio and that collaborative nature. And yeah, it's, this is probably one of the most I don't know, open and generous communities I've ever worked with. And so it's a really it's a privilege to be able to work alongside and to offer mentorship, but really to be there to advocate for artists' choice.
It sounds like a very really loving nucleus of creativity, like just a central kind of entity. Now, Adeel, I was told that I think your art is going to Japan. Am I right about that?
We're still in discussion about it, but yes, so what we know right now is we are going to be partnering with a sister organization in Osaka who also work with artists with developmental disabilities. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, but Atelier Corners. But yeah, so we're just in conversation with them right now. But yeah, Adeel's work is going to be featured in that exhibition. So it's going to be traveling to another country.
That is so cool.
We didn't spoil a surprise, did we? Adeel, you knew this was happening?
Oh no, can you imagine?
I see. For me, I didn't know those things going overseas, and for me, I didn't know that. You just submit. I just submit.
I'm sorry if I ruined a surprise.
No, I think I did.
This is a good time. This is perfect.
Oh no, we really did. This is amazing.
Oh, wow. Carly had mentioned it in an email, and she was saying that she was excited we wanted to talk to Adeel because they were in discussion about your work being in Japan.
I'm happy that the breakfast dish is getting some breaking news. That's really good for us in our investigative journalist careers. That's really outstanding.
You heard it here first, folks, right here on the Breakfast Series. Well,
wow.
Adeel, how do you feel about that? How do you feel that knowing that people in Japan would like to see your art?
I feel happy to put the art in a different city and country. It's really, I would say one more time, overseas. It's really, because I didn't know, when I submit my art, it's when I make it, I didn't know I put my art in a far away. It's unexpected. It's really, just stick my breath away. I don't know what to say.
Well, your art has taken my breath away, and it's reaching out to the world. Your art speaks to the whole world, and my breath is gone. My breath is away.
I really hope we didn't ruin a surprise, but there's also something really selfish that I'm really happy that we're here for this. You're both very lovely people, so this is really nice.
Now, I understand that there might be an extension of Adeel's exhibit. I'm hoping that there's something that we can link to maybe in the comments about this podcast where we could see the work online still. Is that something we can still link to?
Yes. So we'll be updating the exhibition page on our main website. And we'll also, we've been just editing documentation of the work itself as well and uploading that. And we have an amazing marketing coordinator. And so she's been really active in updating our social media. So we've been trying to put as many links out there as possible through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
This is a good segue, Griffin, into your socials question.
Yeah, so the other portion of this podcast is not only do we talk about the people behind the art and the art that's available, but for those folks who aren't as like tech savvy or who like might not know where the Stride Gallery is if it is extended and they want to go there, we also really like to talk about give like pretty broken down instructions on how to get to your awesome art. So Richelle, what is that website? What are those social medias?
We've actually created a special website for Indefinite that's separate than our main, that we've kind of condensed all of our remote programming onto. It's called ouriacndu.ca. But yeah, so we've also been really active in making instructionals and art prompts, and so we've just got a bunch of there, and it's a resource for our artists.
Is that also the social medias? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Yes, so it's all Indefinite Arts Centre.
And the name of the exhibit, I didn't point this out. The name of the exhibit, the other artist is David?
Yes, David Apong.
Right. David and Adeel are part of an exhibit called We're All Here Together Still, which I love the name of that exhibit.
It actually came from a conversation with Adeel. It was something, I don't know, when we're having our conversations, I take a lot of notes and try to record as much as possible. And yeah, it was something that Adeel said. It really resonated with the entire staff. And we really felt like that was what we should be calling this exhibition.
It's an excellent name.
Myrla, Adeel, Richelle, thank you very much for joining us. We are getting close to our wrap-up time here. Karen, do you want to ask Adeel one more fun breakfast question before we go?
Yes, I do, because
Karen is a professional improviser. Here we go. She's going to think of it on the spot. 3, 2, 1.
Adeel, what do you think my favorite breakfast is? If you had to guess what my favorite breakfast is,
how dare you? That's insane. That's such an unfair question.
It's an easy question. Go ahead. Take a guess, Adeel.
See, I don't know.
I know. It's stressful.
So many choices.
Bagel?
It is bagels.
Just like Richelle had today. She had a sesame bagel. My favorite is a cinnamon raisin bagel with butter and peanut butter on it.
This is some unsolicited advice from the microphone of Griffin Cork, but I realized there was maple French toast bagels at some point in the world, so I bought those, and I suggest everyone buys that. They're heaven.
Do you know the other thing is that there's no real wrong answer to what my favorite breakfast is, because I love breakfast, and I love so many breakfast foods that unless you would like to serve me black olives for breakfast, I'm happy with anything.
Adeel, Myrla, Richelle, thank you very much for joining us. This has been it's a lovely way to start the day. Oh my goodness, just hearing other people talk about their art and learning about a whole new community. And thank you, everybody, for listening. The next episode, this will release on July 13th. So the next episode will be the July 20th. Thank you again to our funders and supporters. You can follow us on social medias. I think just Twitter @BreakfastDish, but you can find us on Facebook @TheBreakfastDish, or you can find us on all podcasting platforms. You can rate, you can subscribe, you can review. I don't know what those things are, but I'm sure you can do them. The intro and outro music that you recently heard was by Alexandra Cowman. Our graphic designer has been Morgan Ermter, and we have been joined by Adeel, Myrla, and Richelle. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
This has been The Breakfast Dish.